Boxing is back with the IBO World Light Heavyweight Championship. Can Suarez take the belt? Or will one of Britain's brightest prospects, Lyndon Arthur, seize victory? Big Fight Live, Arthur versus Suarez. Friday at 10 on Channel 5.
Razaban IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. With me, Johnny Nelson. Johnny, firstly, how are we?
I'm fine, thank you. I was searching my pockets thinking, shit, where's my keys? I'm like, woo! Old age, man. I'm good, man. I'm good.
Weigh-in day, just before the weigh-in now, Lawrence Okoli, been out the ring over a year now. New coach, new management team, has made many changes, even left the country. How much pressure to make sure he's over the line tomorrow night?
Yeah, he has, and I think that shows how serious he is and how much he's taking care of his own business. And I was saying yesterday, Lawrence Okoli, Joshua Dubois, these guys have made big moves as far as they're concerned for their careers. And so therefore, you can just tell how he's talking, how he's moving, the things he's doing. I'm thinking, this guy knows now the buck stops with me. So every decision he makes is going to be the right decision. And his decisions.
How much longer do you think he has at cruiserweight? He's talked about it for a while that he wants to unify and move, but
I think if he moves up to heavyweight, it'll be his choice. Not because he's forced to move up, that he struggles to make the weight. I don't think he struggles to make the weight. He's physically tall, rangy. I don't think he struggles to make the weight. There's not much on him. That'll be his choice, and that's actually a nice option to be in, a nice position to be in.
Well, I've spoken to Spencer Oliver about this earlier. It seems like the relationship he has with Sugar Hill is beyond almost coach and student. It seems like there's a real bond between Sugar Hill and Lawrence Okoli.
That's how it should be. Your coach is got to know you inside out. Your coach has got to be able to know what your habits are, what your drive is, what pushes you, what breaks you. And he and Sugar Hill seem to be friends as well. And I actually like that because Sugar Hill, being like that, Sugar Hill then knows what motivates him, what works for him. He's just getting an inside track of who he is.
Johnny, I'm going to pause this for a second. The music's got a bit loud. Just bear with me. We're picking this back up, Johnny. The music was
just gone and harassed the DJ.
I just asked him if you could lower it slightly.
Yeah, man, that's like pull. You got some pull, boy.
No, it's not about pull. It's about we're here to work. I spoke to Liam Smith yesterday, and he came across quite frustrated. Liam Smith. He came across quite frustrated at the Eubank fight. He didn't have a date. Nothing was sorted. Nothing was signed. Do you think that fight does happen next for Liam?
No. I think Eubank. Remember, Eubank won. He beat. Liam Smith won. So Eubank. Now he's looking at Eubank thinking, hold on a minute. How comes the options are there for you? Why am I waiting back for you? I won, and in fashion. So I understand the frustrations. And maybe everything was planned for that second fight once that was done. So now that's not the case. They've got to think, right then, we're moving you on to what we promised to give you in the first place. So it's probably professional frustration when he sees everybody talking about Conor Benn and Eubank Jr. He's thinking, I've just smashed him. So that's not his business. That's not his business to get that worried about.
We've seen Kell Brook back in the gym. He said he'll come out of retirement for Conor Benn. Now, we know what he's been through over the last couple of months, Johnny. Is this just a repeat cycle? He comes out of retirement, he's happy, he goes back into retirement.
I don't want him to because it's a short-term solution to a long-term problem. You're going to have to retire at some bit, and at some point you're still going to have to go through this period of thinking, now what am I going to do? I don't want him to come back. I want him to go through this period that we've all had to go through as fighters, and so this is putting a plaster on something that's still there. So I don't want him to. I think we're not going to see the best version of Kell. I think Kell has shown how good he has been. He's shown how much he's slipped. He's shown that what he's capable of doing in the last fight with Amir Khan. Now to go in there with a young, fresh gun, it'd be a great feat. But he's never going to turn back time. He's never going to, he can't turn back age. So I don't want it to happen. No, it's not a secret. If he does it, you know what? I'll be his biggest cheerleader, but I'll be very, very blunt and very straight in how I see it, and that's, to me, that's the only way.
I know you spoke yesterday about the whole Fury-Usyk stuff. Yesterday, Frank Ron did an interview, talked about They want to push the mandatory now on Alexander Usyk to fight Daniel Dubois. Is Dubois ready for someone like Usyk?
I don't think, unless Frank's going to throw Daniel Dubois to the wolves, I don't think Frank will make that happen next.
You don't think?
I don't think that Frank will encourage that to happen next. I just don't. I think they'll look for an easy option, and it's not disrespecting Daniel Dubois. It's looking at the business brain of Frank. So Frank's either thinking, you know what, I've got a fight here that has the ability to become a world champion, but he's just not there yet. We're seeing little chinks in the arm in regards to when he's being put under pressure. So would you want to put him in there now, hoping he'd win? Okay, he might win, but then he's going to come across somebody that's going to really put the pressure and keep it on. I don't think that will happen next. I don't think that Frank will take that risk.
Frank was quite adamant yesterday that that's the fight we want next for Daniel Dubois. There are rumours that Usyk's trying to make a Wilder fight, maybe in Saudi Arabia.
Listen, Frank might be saying that, but it'd be like, I don't know, it was like Eubank a few years ago talking about I want to fight Golovkin. As long as you talk about him in the same breath and the conversation there, I wouldn't say, I don't mean it's ever going to happen. I really don't believe Frank will put him in next with Usyk. And you know what, if that is the case, he's got a grounds to say, look, we're the mandatory, so it's got to be done. But I'd be very surprised if Usyk's next in there with Daniel Dubois. I'd be very surprised.
Johnny, some people will argue to say that this is an opportunity to become not just win one belt, but opportunity to become a unified heavyweight champion. They don't come often. Whether you're ready or not, you just don't know if you're ready. The reality is you don't know. You could go in there and blast Usyk out, but we know how good Usyk is. So, does that narrative have a point?
What, for Dubois? Well, Dubois is a good fighter, but Dubois are not a finished fighter. We've seen him under pressure. We've seen him fold. And so therefore that's something he's got to fix before he steps up to that level, because you can knock people out, you can put them under pressure, but when they put the pressure on you, what have we all seen? I'm not speaking out of turn. So why would you put a man that's got that chink there, that top fighters can see, in a situation like that until it's fixed?
Eddie's comments on a four-man tournament, Joshua versus Fury, Usyk versus Wilder, and the winners face each other. Is that us dreaming? Will that can that even happen?
That's dreaming. That's a promoter doing his job. That's a promoter keeping his fighter in that mix and throwing things out there. The problem, as we've seen in the past, it's all these promoters and all these egos having to work together, and unfortunately, that's where negotiations fall down.
Johnny, you're on duties with Sky. Catch up with you soon. Johnny Nelson, IFL TV. Thank you very much.
It must have been about 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt ring.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day,